We have people who are suffering in the most literal way possible. They're not sure if they can pay their rent. They know they can't pay their credit card bills, and they just go up and up and up. Sometimes they're excluded from credit entirely because they can't pay their bills. We have a lot of people who are going bankrupt. We have people who are contemplating the possibility of living in their cars or having to move in with their sisters or brothers or back in with their parents. And we have people who are hungry.
What do they say to you personally?
Help. They say help. It's particularly vocal among the undocumented. You can't go anywhere in my district and not run into people who are undocumented. Literally, you can go to the supermarket, and as you're walking into the supermarket, you'll pass 3 or 4 people who have no papers. And the reality is that people like that have an awful struggle every day. They have to stay away from the police, so therefore, if they become the victims of crimes, they can't even report those crimes. They're underpaid by their employers because their employers know that they can't complain to the authorities about that. We have people who are documented and their parents are undocumented. A little girl came up to me and handed me a letter at one of our events recently, explaining to me that she was an American citizen, her father was not, her father was about to be deported. So these are the lives and the suffering of ordinary people in my district. It's pervasive.
You didn't encounter this all of a sudden once you became a politician?
Yes, one of the interesting things about modern life actually is that we are actually insulated from the reality that other people face. Very few people realize that when they buy a hamburger, they're buying it from somebody making $7.25 an hour. Look at them. They're wearing a nice uniform. They're clean-shaven because they're required to be clean-shaven. They are required to be perky and friendly, so you have no sense of what's actually going on in their lives. And if they fail any of those tests, then they're fired and replaced with another replaceable part in another cog in the machinery of capitalism. So actually, it's very hard to come to grips with the reality that we face. You could buy an article of clothing in Walmart and not realize that the person who made that clothing for you in Bangladesh makes $2 a day. The interesting thing about life in the 21st century is that we don't have to come to grips with that. And it's often our elected officials who are forced to come to grips with that because people turn to us as the only people they can turn to.